There's a few songs that you wrote with Mike Batt, and there are 3 songs that he wrote.
Yeah.
Are those old songs or are those new songs by him?
The ones that he wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, so the bit that I don't get is new. Can I look at the album, just, and then I can quickly tell you. The bit that I don't get is new. Cry of the Lone Wolf and Heartstrings is new, and Secret Symphony is new. So the only ones that are kind of from the catalogue is Walls of the World and Better Than a Dream.
And why did you pick these songs?
Well, Better Than a Dream was actually featured on an animation film about 15 years ago. And we, you know, in the studio we're looking for songs, and Mike just got it out, played it to me, and I kind of went, oh my God, this is the 4th album that I've made with you, and I've only just heard this song. It just, again, had that real classic quality and that warmth and that beauty that Mike is so good at making and writing and putting into songs.
What makes you such a good team?
I think because we really respect each other, we really trust each other, we're also very honest with each other. You know, we're not afraid to say if we don't like something the other one has done. I think that's pretty important, and I think we kind of are good, almost like we're good editors of each other. So I think that is what makes a collaboration work.
Is there one thing that you bring from the recordings with William Orbit into this recording session?
Yeah, actually a sense of trusting the producer and the musicians more. You know, because William really, he wanted me to give as much as possible, but then he wanted me to step away and come back because he wanted to work on it, take it away, work on it on his own, and then trust that he would do that, and for me to come back. And what was good about it was that he was free to do as much as he wanted or as little as he wanted. And then I came back with fresh, valuable ears, clean ears. You know, I wasn't following every step of the progress, so I could come back and actually say, well, I haven't heard this for a few days or a few weeks, and now I can hear it's great, it's not good, it needs this, it needs that. And so he taught me that, and I was able to do that with Mike, and that was fantastic.
So the first 3 albums were a bit more, you were really involved in every step of the process?
Yeah, pretty much, you know, and Mike really very much allowed that, you know, and very much was happy to do that. So what I mean is we would record the band and myself, but then we'd do the editing pretty much as we recorded, and we'd do the comping of the vocals and comping of the guitars and everything pretty much all together.
How do you look back on your albums?
I just think of them as little kind of complicated pictures of those, you know, years of my life.
What do you see then? 2003?
2003, Call of the Search. I was still at school, I was still doing my last year of college at the Brit School. That was sort of, I just remember trains, getting lots of trains to the studio, going through the English countryside, and listening to people like Eva Cassidy and Ella Fitzgerald and Nina Simone. Piece by piece, I remember travelling to China, to Beijing, starting the whole world of promotion and touring. Pictures, what do I remember? Pictures, oh, the cinema concept, this whole really getting heavily into film and cinema and the history of cinema. The house was all about self kind of realization and meditation and exploration, lots of shins. And Secret Symphony is kind of about finding home again and relaxing a bit more and just enjoying music, falling back in love with music.
Do you have thoughts about your next steps?
No, I don't actually. I never really try and plan too far in advance. You know, and when you've just made an album, you're so still involved with it, and because you're performing it and still essentially selling it to people, it's very much, it takes up your whole sort of mind.
But it looks like that people really like this style of you, because this album, well, I think it's top 10 in over 20 countries or something.
Yeah.
What does it tell you? Does it tell you anything, maybe, or nothing?
I don't know that it does, you know, because I think the public is such a complicated creature, you know, that you can't really read too much into it. I guess it tells me when I'm not trying too hard And when music comes naturally to me, I think people can feel that and hear that. So I guess that's what it tells me.
Will you be going the house way, or will you be going, well, this way after this?
I know I will be stepping back into the experimental Katie at some point, but I don't know when yet. And at the same time, I know this sort of organic way of making music will always be my home. So both, you know, and maybe a third element too.
It's been 10 years, well, you've almost been 10 years now you've been successful. Is your life, is it, are there two periods in life for you? Pre-album, pre-success, and now the last 10 years?
No, not really. I think to me, the biggest change in my life was probably moving from Georgia to the West. Because it was, you know, suddenly we had electricity all the time, and we had, you know, we were able to have hot baths. I know it sounds a bit ridiculous, but that was a big change in my life. And suddenly I was able, as a girl, to consider a career, you know, and consider potential of getting a job and earning my own money and not just being a housewife. So I think that was a bigger change.
And this change from being, well, now a successful artist, what did it do to you?
I guess, I'm sure it does change you, definitely. I guess, you know, I mean, there's silly things like you consider airports to be workplaces rather than a holiday, you know, the stopgap for a holiday. So that's a small little change. You get very sort of used to hotels and things like that, and those are, that's a shame, you know, because you become a bit, you take things for granted. But aside from that, I hope I haven't changed too much. I hope so. But you'd have to ask my friends.
Okay, I can't, but
I know.
thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.